Good morning. I wanted to make this tape as a follow-up to our abbreviated conference call last night. I do apologize for that. I did want to make a few other comments and clarify a few things as we end up the term. As far as my purpose of being in Knoxville last night and cutting the call short, I was visiting one of our faculty members here who had a medical emergency yesterday. They're doing better, and I want you to continue to remember them in your prayers. But it looks like they're doing a lot better, and I appreciate your indulgence in that matter. So we'll follow up with this tape. First of all, I want to talk about some issues related to Lesson 7. Lesson 7 dealt primarily with the involvement of state and federal government in local education. When you get right down to it, that is a function of money. The founding fathers of this country had in mind local control of the school districts. They had many other things in mind, but in their way of seeing it, looking at it, they thought that the school system should be locally controlled because at that time the economies were basically locally driven, and so the local districts, the local towns and folks in the countryside knew what was best for the education of the students. We've changed a lot since then, and basically the what some would see as the intrusion of state and federal government is a function of financing education. Education is an expensive proposition, and for that reason we have to have involvement from the state and from the federal government to provide the services and the facilities that we need to be competitive. So again, what some people look at as intrusion into our activities and interference is really simply the government looking at it as being good stewards of the resources and the tax money. Now, we have some differences of opinion about that. But the bottom line is this: if we're going to provide all the services and build all the schools and provide all the bells and whistles that are necessary to remain competitive, we're going to have to rely on state and federal financing. And when the state and federal governments are involved, they will want to have their input. And that's just the way things operate. Now, I hope that in looking at some of the tapes that I've sent you, you'll see how some of the local administrators deal with this, how they feel about it. And to be quite honest with you, it's going to be a fact of our existence. So those of you who are planning to be administrators, you're going to have to plan to be actively involved with the state and federal government as we continue the process of providing the best possible educational services to our students. We got into some things here related to some of the laws, how we deal with students, search and seizure, dealing with the Americans with Disabilities Act, providing services for all of the population. And that's a pretty tall task. So the challenges that come to administrators, many of them come from those particular areas. And our purpose in dealing with those issues is to make you better prepared to do your job as school administrators. Now, for the most part, I was very pleased with your responses. So Lesson 7, if you have some specific questions about that, please feel free to contact me. I'll be glad to talk with you individually about that. Let me shift now to the ending of the class. The class ends, as you all know, on July the 2nd. By July 2nd, all coursework is to be turned in to me, and I plan to turn in the grades on July the 3rd. So that has to we have to have a rapid turnover because we begin another class on the 5th of July, Monday the 5th. So please be prompt. Don't miss the deadline. Again, as I've told you before, the only students who have difficulties in my class are those who do not meet the deadlines or do not take the assignments seriously. And so far in this case, that hasn't been a problem to a great extent with this class. So get your work into me and we'll be in good shape. The work includes, for this class, all the assignments, the e-portfolio, and it also includes a review of the book Gardening in the Minefield. So all of that is due to me on the 2nd. If you have any questions about that, you can email me or give me a quick call. I'll be glad to talk about that with you. Now, let me also talk about future enrollment for those of you all who are continuing on in the program. Some of you are finishing, I know, but some of you are continuing on. It's essential for you to go ahead and do all the tutorials necessary for the new iLearn system. So if you haven't done that yet, do that. You will not be allowed entry into the class until all of that is complete. So it's crucial that you do that between now and July 5th if you're starting a class on the 5th. If you have any questions about that, you may want to get in touch with the IT department here at the university, or call the help desk number, or get some assistance in some way, because it's going to be crucial for you to do that. You don't want to get yourself off to a slow start. You want to be able to do what you can do and get started right on time and know what's expected of you. Again, I want to tell you it's been a pleasure to work with you this term, and if I may be of assistance to you in any way, please call on me. I'll be glad to help you in any way that I possibly can. Many times that's just acting as a traffic cop and pointing you in the right direction, but I'll be glad to help you if I can. So best of luck to you, and I hope our paths will cross again in the very near future.